Hey you guys, Sydney here. Welcome back to my third YouTube video, and again, maybe getting obnoxious, but I'm excited about it, so I don't really care. I do want to apologize in advance if I am a tad bit neurotic in this video. It is my favorite day of the week. It is Sunday, and I've also had a lot of coffee today. I actually have some right here. And you know, the coffee to water ratio on the weekends is just disproportionate, to say the least. So again, I may be a little bit neurotic, but I am in a really good mood, and I guess that really isn't something to apologize for. So yeah, I'm in a good mood. It is Sunday, and I get to see my family next week for the holidays, so I am over the moon excited for that, like so excited. I also wanted to address something right off the bat here, and that is this hideous background I have going on behind me. Again, I am totally new to YouTube and am really experimenting with things, which is great. Like, I feel like that's how I'm going to learn and discover what I do like and what I don't like. But I wanted to say that in my last video number 2 about anxiety that I filmed recently, I was in this tiny little alcove in my apartment. My apartment is just really small, which I mean is fine for me right now. I don't need anything bigger. I don't need anything glamorous. Clearly. But yeah, I wanted to give that a try. That little tiny alcove does not have any natural light whatsoever, and I just really didn't like it at all. But yeah, today I am filming again in front of this lovely, dingy, old closet door that I have. It slides, it's on a track, which it comes off of about 5 or 6 times a day, so we have a wonderful relationship, in case you're wondering. It's not ideal, obviously. It looks really gross. I totally realize that. But as I'm sitting here, I do have so much more natural light. In my bedroom, I have this large window sitting in front of me, and I just feel like the natural light looks so much better than like the dark alcove that I was in with some weird, creepy, ominous shadows. Let me know how you feel about that. If you saw my last video, compare the two, and yeah, I just need some help. So for my third video today, I wanted it to be a little bit on the lighter side. I went in pretty hard in my second video with the topic of anxiety, and again, that's totally how I wanted it to be. That's who I am as a person, very all or nothing, and that's what I'm really passionate about. So I really wanted to chat about anxiety, but I figured for this video I would be a little bit lighter and just tell you guys a little bit more about who I am as a person, where I am in the world, how I got here, and a little bit more of the smaller details of my life, I guess, that have led me to where I am today, because ultimately, I feel like context in writing or speaking or anything like that is super important. I want you guys to know exactly where my words and my thoughts and my opinions and beliefs and my passion is coming from and where it stems from. So yeah, without further ado, if you want to hear any more of my story and where I am in the world, who I am a little bit, and my background, just keep watching. Okay, so I guess I'll start off saying that I went to school for like physical health. I actually started as an athletic training major. I went to school in Wisconsin, and then for various reasons that I will get into later that will require a lot of other videos because ain't nobody got time for that, I actually ended up transferring schools also in the state of Wisconsin, and I graduated last December actually, which, moment of silence, is 1 year ago now, and that is both completely horrifying but also super exciting, I guess. Wow. Yeah, so I graduated 1 year ago in December from a Wisconsin school, and my degree is actually called, it's very long and broad and drawn out, but it's called Health, Human Performance, and Recreation. So like athletic training, it is kind of like a kinesiology type exercise science-ish degree, but also has a lot of generalized health and fitness and also random recreation incorporated into it. So yeah, it's very broad, which I guess can be good for some people, is what people tell me. For me, it was too broad. It was really difficult to find a job with. And after I graduated, I actually realized that conveniently, I did not want to take a job in that field. A little bit of background on that. I actually worked in the fitness industry for quite a few years throughout college and even a little bit after college. And I just got to the point where I got really burnt out by it. I realized that it was not really a healthy field for me to work in, which again, I will get into at a later time. I was a certified personal trainer for a while, and I also taught Group X classes. I worked in a gym, so I was kind of like all over in the gym setting. And in working with my personal training clients, again, I really didn't do that much of it in the end because I realized that it really wasn't a healthy thing for me and something that I really wanted to do. But anyways, in all of that, everything I did in the gym setting, I really realized and got super, super passionate about the fact that I truly believe that mental health and your state of mental health really needs to be addressed before you can address the state of your physical health, and especially in regards to losing weight or seeing goals being accomplished in the gym, because I would work with all my clients and I would see that they really weren't being able to get accomplished what they wanted to accomplish and weren't able to see changes in their body, and then they would get discouraged. And I think we've all been there. It's this vicious cycle. And I truly believe that to break that cycle, we need to identify and address mental health first. Before anything else. Mental health is so intricately wound and woven with physical health and achieving goals in the gym. And as a personal trainer, I just wasn't necessarily qualified to do that. And so it became really super frustrating for me. And it became this passion in me that just started growing and growing and growing. And as you will come to realize, I have had my own specific journey with mental health and battles with physical health. But yeah, so through all of those years and my wide variety of experience in the physical health field, I just realized that mental health was what I was most passionate about and what I needed to pursue. I still don't know really what that looks like for me today, but this YouTube channel is actually part of that and an outlet for me to start talking about this stuff and start trying to get my voice to be heard and reach people and just ultimately let people know that this stuff is real. It is so, so real, and they're not the only one. You're not the only one that feels this way and that is suffering and that goes through this stuff. Like, me too, you guys. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I feel like this is all over the place and very rambly. It definitely is, but please just try to stick with me. So anyways, I graduated a year ago. I decided, hey, I don't want anything to do with the gym setting or physical health anymore. I really needed a break from it, and I needed it to be fun again for me to do on my own. And so I was totally in this place where I was drowning. I had no idea what I was gonna do. I had worked so freaking hard. I was killing myself, like physically and mentally, trying to do so well and achieve so highly in school, and I was left with hardly nothing. I felt like I had this degree that I had invested so much time and money into and energy and literally everything I was, and here I was in a place where I didn't even want to use it. And if you can relate to absolutely any part of that, if you can relate to being a recent college grad and not really feeling like you have a direction, maybe you aren't able to find a job or you are just feeling kind of lost, I just want you to know that I have been there too, and I can relate in the fact that that is one of the hardest places to be in. I can wholeheartedly tell you that it is absolutely terrifying as a recent graduate not having a job outside of college. Between the societal expectations and, at least for me, like my personal expectations, it's so difficult. I totally realize that. So how I handled it, I did something that probably a lot of people wouldn't do, but please just hear me out on this one. So I was in Wisconsin. I was very, very unhappy. I really had no direction or didn't know what I really wanted to do. But I've always had this adventurous spirit, and I just decided, you know what, this is my time in life to follow that and really lean into it and run with it. You know, I didn't have a career. I had recently broken up with my boyfriend, and it was just the perfect time for me to do it. Perfect time for a really big adventure. And so that's what I did. I actually picked up and moved by myself across the country to the state of Oregon. I actually hadn't spent any time on the West Coast, and so now I'm currently living in Bend, Oregon. It is absolutely wonderful. I cannot rave enough about Bend. I have had my own personal struggles, of course, and it hasn't been easy, but I will say that it is the most incredible decision that I've ever made. I have learned so much about myself and the world and people and just what I'm passionate about that I would never, ever change a single thing that I've done or any decision that I've made. So again, I really didn't know what I wanted to do, and I actually took a job as a full-time nanny, and it's taken a long time for me to be able to sit here and just say those words, as stupid as that sounds. But as hard as I worked in college, it was just this barrier that I faced of just sitting here and saying, yeah, hey, I graduated summa cum laude, and I don't say that to brag about it because I've learned a lot about it since then, and not a lot of it matters, which again is a topic for a different time. But yeah, it was just really difficult for me to sit here and say, hey, I graduated with basically a 4.0, and I'm a full-time nanny. Like, I started babysitting when I was 13 years old. I used to babysit like crazy as a teenager, and so it's just this weird position to be in where I felt like, hey, I just worked my butt off and killed myself over a degree that now I'm not even using and actually am doing something that I did when I was 13 years old. I don't say that in any way to discredit nannies, because I've met a lot of nannies and mannies along the way, and I've now been nannying for like 9 or 10 months. And let me just tell you that it is hard. It is hard work. And single moms out there, stay-at-home moms, this goes for you too. It's difficult. It is challenging. It's all to say that nannying is a great profession. It's something that I have loved over the past 9-10 months, and something that I feel like I've learned more about myself and about people and life than a lot of what I learned in college. Seriously, truthfully. So yeah, I am a full-time nanny right now. I don't really know what's next for me, but that's okay. Stick with me, and I'm totally in the process right now of trying to figure that out and trying to decide whether I'm staying in Bend or whether I'll be moving again. Please stick around for those decisions, because whatever it is, I really want to take you guys pretty closely with me through those decisions, because I feel like they're big decisions that a lot of 20-somethings and recent college graduates are going through. And I think it's important to know that you're not the only one, and that you have someone going through those same decisions with you. And yeah, that is, I guess, all I really wanted to say in this video. Thank you so much for sticking with me and listening to me ramble about a little bit of my journey and how I got to where I am sitting in this very spot right now. I hope you guys have the best holiday season ever. I get to go home and see my puppies and my family and my friends, but mostly my dogs. I hope you have a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whatever you may celebrate. Have a happy time, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you guys for watching. Mwah. I love you. Bye. Dang it, Sydney. I am like super pumped up right now. I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew. Can find useful, or I just spit. Oh, you guys, I'm gonna start crying just thinking about reuniting with my dogs.